So first of all, thank you guys. I know what it's like to come back after a holiday, especially Thanksgiving. I know my kid was out of school for an entire week, so I'm ready to get back to this point. So sitting here today, I always know how it's, with busy schedules, what it's like, so thank you very much. My name's Chris. Some of you know Bill Daly. Bill Daly is my colleague. He used to be my competitor when I was in the title business at Lakeside Title. Bill was so friendly and fair that he said if I ever decided to do a career change, to come talk to him. You're going to learn a little bit about me. I'm a recovering realtor. I now identify as a title agent. I will go back to my story. So I'm coming from this point of view, from being in your shoes, guys. I'm not some guy up here hoping and understanding and wishing. I know what it's like to be in the trenches. I've survived the real estate crash in 2008 and the current market we're in, so I know what it's like. So let's get started. Anyone here that's probably born before me may not remember this, but for those Gen Xers in the room, this is what the internet used to look like. And we joke about this, and I have to start this way, because this reminds me of a moment in time that I distinctly recall back in 1996 when I was a brand new agent, and my mother, who was my broker, had reached out and said, Christopher, this internet thing that I keep hearing about, do you think this is going to impact us in the real estate business? Now remember, we didn't have the internet. We would get listing books, we would present the listings, we'd go to the listing agents to get the keys. We didn't have any of this. We didn't even have the key card, anything like that. In 1996. This is right before the MLS came live. So I told my mom, and I still cringe about it to say, Mom, this internet thing is not going to impact the real estate industry at all. It's only used for e-commerce. Ha, ha, ha. Moving forward to November 30th of 2022. This is when I like to say everything in the world changed that day. And I don't mean to be hyperbolic, but I am kind of joking. This was the day that I started seeing this thing called ChatGPT. And I don't know when you guys remember, and at this point in time, I'm sure everybody's heard about it. This is when I started going, well, what is this thing? I'm a pretty tech-savvy guy. I'm kind of a nerd at heart. I'm the guy that sleeps at the mall to get the new iPhone. I've always been a nerd at heart. So I started delving into the Reddit post boards. I started looking at Twitter back when it was called Twitter. And I started seeing this thing called ChatGPT. And I'm like, I've got to figure this out. I've got to understand what this is. And this just happened to coincide at the same time when I was doing a lateral career change, where I said, I need to talk to agents and lenders about something that's interesting that I can bring value. So this is my man, Gary Vee. Some of you probably know Gary Vee. Gary Vee is obviously a prominent figure in the social media space. He took his father's wine company from no one to one of the most successful in the business using social media. This is his opinion on technology, specifically AI, because a lot of the people I encounter in this business are like, this is ridiculous. It's another new thing I have to worry about. This is stupid. Why do I even want to care and learn about this? If it's just going to take my job and replace me, why even try? And my point being is not that it's going to replace you. The agents that adopt it and use it are going to replace you. And I don't care who you are, what career you're in, or what you're doing, this is going to impact you. So this is Gary Vee's opinion on...
And for the people who understand what I'm saying, here it is. Most people worked on farms back in the day. And then a tractor came out. And everyone's like, fuck that. We'll find fucking jobs. And then people found new jobs. So what do I think? I think you can have any opinion you want. Technology doesn't give a shit about you. It's going to do what it's going to do. And it's not going to stop. So if you do a job that AI is capable of doing soon, you should think about that. Do you understand I gave the same keynote in 1997? The analogy I used then was, look, if you're the top salesman or saleswoman for the Yellow Pages, you might want to consider what Yahoo and Google are doing. So what do I think about AI? I think it's coming. I think it's coming fast. And it's going to be awesome, and there's going to be certain rule changes, and humans have proven to me that they have the ability to adjust to the new reality and deal with it.
So why I start with that, because a lot of people ask me when I'm up here, and they're like, Chris, this is all great, and I love this. What do you see as the problem with this? I think the problem is it's coming at us so rapidly and so fast, and it's replacing so much of the tedious, mundane things that it's blowing me away. And a lot of people, well, I'm an artist, I'm a creator, I don't care about that. You're actually the people that are getting impacted the most, and I'm going to demonstrate that in a little bit with some of the things you can do, but everyone's not safe. So this is a tweet that I saw where, again, goes back to my point where on that day when it was about 3 weeks after ChatGPT came out, this guy was like, this is a glimmer of what things are to come. And this is, again, why I started delving back into this. So my origin story started in 1979 when I became a realtor, and I joke because that was when my mom became a realtor. And as a little kid, I basically stayed in the business and watched my mom go around and sell houses back in the day. Fast forward to 1996, I became a RE/MAX agent with her brokerage. and I followed that all the way up until May of this year when I had a midlife crisis and switched into the title. Business. It was that or a new car. So just so you know, again, I come from this world, so I wanted to come at you from the realtor point of view. So me, this is a fake image of me waiting in line at the Apple store. I couldn't find it because I didn't have my iPhone back then. But who remembers the BlackBerry? Or the Razor? I mean, or the Palm Pilot. I mean, these are all the things, the iteration. Oh my God, and you knew that little language. So this is, again, being the nerd at heart, I thought I had got to learn this and I've got to share this because this is going to impact the world. So let me start off with, does anyone even here, I mean, you guys kind of know what it is. Does anyone even know what it stands for? Does anyone know what ChatGPT, does anyone even care? Here's the nerd version. Chatbot, you can talk to it. GPT, and I'll never say this again, is the nerd of me, generative pre-trained transformer. All that means is it took everything on the internet up until April of 2023, compiled it into what's called a large language model, an LLM. It's nerd talk. Trillions and trillions and trillions of bits of information. It now connects the chatbot's ability to communicate with that data set so that you can communicate, ask it questions. Unlike Google, where we can all do a search, this responds to you and corresponds with you as if you're talking to a human. It's not a human, but it sure as hell sounds like one. You like how it responds? It can continue that way. If you don't like it and you want it to be stern, serious, funny, succinct, link-wise, you want it to sound like Jerry Seinfeld, it does not matter. It remembers the conversation, continues the conversation, and you guys probably think that's all it can do. We're going to demonstrate way more than that. So Microsoft, in its existential crisis with Google, realized the impact that this technology is going to have. They literally said at the opening gate, this is going to be the foundation of our business moving forward. They basically invested $10 billion back a year ago. They are upwards of spending $700,000 a day on the servers just to maintain its ability for us, the general public, to use it for free. They're now currently at about $13 billion, and that's just scratching the surface, and they are a minority shareholder of 49%, but this is the foundation to how Microsoft moving forward. So, if you had to guess how long it took ChatGPT, this is something that really got my attention. So, we all know Netflix took about 3.5 years. We all use Netflix. Spotify, 5 months. Even Facebook took 10 months. Took Instagram 2.5 months. ChatGPT did it in 5 days.
I was going to say.
So, guys, this is not going anywhere. Now, that's impressive, but how about this? What about 100 million users? This was, again, a little graph that I put together that I found that at this point, this was about a year ago, so I can only imagine. It's now gotten to the point where it's so in demand, they've actually shut off services for people to sign up. So if you're currently using ChatGPT, it only took 2 months, by the way, 300 million users. They're estimating that this business is going to nearly impact the economy at the rate of about $2 trillion. I think it's going to be more than that. And to think $1 trillion is 1,000 billions. This is going to up in every industry, and it's just, we're only getting started.
Can you wrap your head around that?
When I saw that the ChatGPT model, and this again was a year ago, was able to pass the SATs with flying colors, the bar exam, the MCAT, it's writing legislation, it's actually being used with judges to determine court cases. This is just a sample, and a lot of people may have heard this, like, so what? Why is that a big deal? Well, I just think that, guys, we're living in unprecedented times. This is the fastest growing technology the human race has ever seen, and it's only going to get better. They're actually equivocating this to the advent, more importantly than the advent of the internet, the advent of the cell phone, and some people are equivocating it to even the advent of electricity. I know that's hyperbole, and I know we've seen Iron Man, and you're like, this is Jarvis. I'm afraid that it's Skynet and Terminator kind of stuff. And at the end of my presentation, we're going to touch a little on that while we might be actually closer to that in reality. So this was me demonstrating not ChatGPT, but AI. We're at a point now where I can literally think of a thought and get an answer. Not only that, I can think of a thought and turn it into a video. So I thought, let me demonstrate this just using AI. This is a company called InVideo, and I'll send out the links and everything at the end. But this was me saying, hey, I'm doing a presentation, and I want to show agents the pros and cons of what AI can do. I want you to make it upbeat, I want you to use relevant information, and I want you to sound like Robert Attenborough, the guy that does all the nature documentaries. And this made this video in 3 minutes.
Become the greatest tool or the biggest threat in the real estate industry. As we stand at the intersection of technology and property, the role of artificial intelligence sparks both promise and apprehension. Hold on to your seats as we delve into the dark side of AI in real estate. For all its promises, AI presents a host of challenges in real estate. Let's delve into the darker aspects of this tech phenomenon. One of the most concerning issues is job displacement. As AI becomes more adept at performing tasks traditionally done by humans, many real estate professionals may find their roles becoming obsolete. From property appraisals to customer service, AI's expanding capabilities could lead to significant job losses in the sector. Next, let's talk about privacy. AI's ability to gather and analyze vast amounts of data can be a double-edged sword. While it can help in making informed decisions, it also raises serious concerns about personal data protection. Lastly, there's the potential for bias in AI algorithms. Despite being machines, AI systems learn from human-generated data, and this can lead to them inadvertently replicating human biases. This could result in unfair practices like discriminatory pricing or biased property recommendations. But don't lose hope just yet. Every coin has two sides. See in script. AI, despite its drawbacks, has the potential to revolutionize the real estate industry. Picture this, an industry driven by efficiency, precision, and personalization. That's the promise of artificial intelligence. Think of the countless hours spent on paperwork, property comparisons, and price negotiations. Now imagine these tasks being handled in a fraction of the time with improved accuracy. That's the efficiency AI brings to the table. Consider the weight of decision-making in real estate. With AI's data analysis capabilities, we're looking at better informed, more confident decisions. And it doesn't stop there. AI can sift through vast amounts of data to match buyers with properties that align with their personal preferences, enhancing customer service by leaps and bounds. AI is not just a tool, it's a partner, a game changer, and an innovation that's here to stay. The future of real estate seems to be firmly in the grip of artificial intelligence. Now, what if you knew that this video, from script to voice to visuals, was all created by an AI? It's true. Every word you've heard, every image you've seen was generated by artificial intelligence. This isn't some far-fetched future. It's the reality of content creation today. AI is not just transforming real estate, but also how we communicate, learn, and entertain ourselves. It's writing scripts, providing voices, creating visuals, all tirelessly without ceasing. And it's only going to become more sophisticated, more capable. But remember, it's not about replacing the human touch. It's about augmenting our abilities, freeing us to focus on what we do best. So, is AI
So basically the reason I show that to you is I used to walk around the room and explain that there's going to be a time coming, we're all walking around with smartphones, where a buyer is going to be able to walk up to a key box and open it without having a Sentry key card because it recognizes who they are with thumbprint, facial recognition. They're going to be able to set the appointment. They're going to go ahead and initiate an offer. They're going to be able to use cryptocurrency, blockchain technology. And what happened last week? Has anyone been following the Zillow news? If you are, we love them or hate them, Zillow is doing what I knew was going to be coming very long. They're consolidating one-stop shopping. Right now, you have a different title company, you have a different lender, you have a different agent. They have acquired the largest online title company in the world. They've also acquired Showing Time, which we all knew. They've acquired Dotloop, and they just recently acquired Follow Up Boss, the #1 CRM. So they own the data, the software, the showing. So there's going to be a point in time where that is where people may go. I don't know, but I'm just trying to give you guys perspective, not scare you, just so you guys are aware of it. Now, for those of you that you don't have an account, that's the website to sign up for it. You can just Google it and it'll take you right to the scene. You can put your own email address, you can put in your Gmail or Microsoft account. Now, what I'm gonna talk about today are two versions. You've got the free version that anybody can sign up for, and then you have the paid version, which we call GPT Plus. When I talk about paid, I'm talking about $20 a month. You're gonna wanna know at the end of this how you can sign up for it. Right now, the demand is so high, they actually pause signups. And I was laughing during a presentation last week where people kept coming up to me showing me their phone, and I didn't know why. We'll give you an indication of that. But again, I'm gonna demonstrate why you're gonna wanna consider doing the paid version. So for those that haven't seen the site, this is just a brief overview. On your left are gonna be your queries, your questions, your responses, your prompts. And down here is where you're going to be asking questions. So as you talk and write and ask questions, the beauty is it remembers everything, that you can come back. And if you have an app on the phone that syncs, and the iPhone and the Android phones all have a generic, or I guess the official app, it will sync so that you can have all your data synced. So basically, it's gonna start with prompting. Prompting is basically having a genie's lamp. You ask it a question, a desire, a want, a wish, and by telling it what you want, how you want it to respond, and what you're looking for is going to be how you're going to get the responses. Don't make this too complicated. People are out there going, well, you got to know about prompt engineering, and you got to know exactly what to say. Start with a basic question, and as it gives you answers, you can tell it, listen, I don't like the way you're talking to me. I want you to ask me the question so that I can get my answer. Or tell it to respond in a clearer fashion. It doesn't matter, but I just want you to understand what prompting is. When I use that term, it's basically what I'm asking ChatGPT to do. And by the way, 90% of the artwork that you see here is all generated using AI. You'll be able to tell because when you get to words and things like that, sometimes it has trouble. But I want you just to imagine, we're at a point in time where if you can think it, it can generate it into a photo. Some of them look a little gimmicky, some of them look crazy, but this is built into the software. When this first came out, this was January 28th of 2023. Our industry is one of the fastest industries in the world at adapting the use of this technology, like with anything. And I think it's kind of fun to know that we're at the forefront of this technology. And I know we're all going to talk about listing descriptions because that's what most people are using it for. But I just thought that was interesting that realtors are at the forefront of this technology. So why am I here today, and how can you as agents and lenders use this in your business? My goal today is just to open your mind, to give you suggestions and ideas, hear from you guys, and discuss some examples of what people are using it for, and some of the reasons why I think you guys should be using it. Because again, it's not about being replaced by AI, it's about the agents that are adapting this, and it's mind-blowing what people are doing for this. So I was recently invited a couple weeks ago to see a nationally recognized speaker on this topic. She is a broker by the name of Marky Lemons out of Chicago. She came and spoke to the Women's Council of Real Estate in Annapolis. I was a little bitter when I was invited to go speak there because I had to pay this woman to go hear her speak about ChatGPT. I'm like, hell no. I've been doing this for months. I know what this is. I walked into the room, there was 400, 500 people in the room, and this woman blew me away. I was shocked, but at the end, after blowing everyone's minds about what she's able to accomplish, everyone sat there like, oh my God, what do I do now? Like, it was so fun to watch, but nobody knew where to start. So I'm gonna drill down today and talk about more specifics. But one of the things she started with was she realized at her age as a 54-year-old single mother that this is going to be how the world's moving forward, and she doesn't want to reinvent the wheel, and she doesn't want to start her career over. So she said, I'm gonna learn this technology, and I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna implement it, and it has transformed her life. And her basically point was, if you're looking to generate content to send out to your market, and we're going to talk about what we mean by that, and you want to make an income of $100,000 a year, she said, based on her example, that she's looking at putting out $32,000 worth of content. So she was trying to convince people that the world that we live in today, to present yourself as an expert and to show your product, which is you and what you offer, you're going to have to get content out there, and a lot of agents struggle with that. So we're going to delve into some of the ways you can actually do that. So I laugh because we are all guilty of this. I know at the title company, you sit down, they sign the paper, they get the keys, they grab the sign, we settled. They said yes to the house, the keys fit. What are these? Guys, that's not content. That is personal aggrandizement and vanity. It's the same thing, and this drives me crazy, is, hey, welcome to my open house, and look at my face, and I'm in a house, and I want you to come visit me. Guys, every realtor does that, every lender does that, and it doesn't set you apart, it just makes you fit into the crowd. So when I talk about content, I'm talking about information that's relevant, infotainment, educating, and she said, listen, from her point of view, all of us are sitting at a time right now where every person that we know is either on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat, and they're essentially screaming that they want you to reach out to them by basically vomiting their whole world, their birthdays, their children, their lives, their careers. She said, you need to focus on people's family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. And she said at about 8 in the morning, she's already reached out to 8 people. And she says, what she does is she visits Google's trends, and she just looks at the market of real estate or whatever topic you want to talk about, and it will tell you what people are searching for. And she said in her example, she was using the uptake in short sales, and she was able to generate an 8-part series using ChatGPT to generate content, videos, suggestions that she then sent out. So now she looks like the expert. So if anybody's looking for short sale information, she was able to do it. So we're going to segue now into between 10 and 12 topics that you can use ChatGPT for. And again, this is just to get your ideas going. So my problem as a Gen Xer, rapidly approaching 50, was I understand that social media is important. Now I've been using Facebook for a while, and as my kid says, that's the boomer. That's what we use, and I know that there are softwares out there trying to keep up with it. I just learned what a TikTok reel is and what an Instagram reel is and what the difference is between a live and a post and then if you want to do it this way, that way, it's overwhelming. So what I find a lot of people using it for is not only generating the content, the ideas and the suggestions, which is overwhelming in our business. What do I say? But then how do I say it? But then when do you say it? So here, again, we're just some images I generated with AI. The first thing I think that's important about social media, and you guys can belabor this all you want, it is here to stay, and if you're not using it, you're missing out, is this is gonna show and help you get to know your audience. It's gonna allow you to create engaging posts that are relevant to your people. So if you wanna talk to a particular neighborhood or a demographic or an age group or a particular topic, there's no shortage of information you can ask the software or the robot to do for you. So I think by stepping aside and stop taking those videos of the house or selling, make stuff that's engaging. I mean, you can research clients, you can research companies, you can research topics, and ChatGPT will help you with that. I also think it shows that you're gonna be authentic. It's gonna be able to show that you are able to easily engage with your audience. It's gonna be able to have you educate and provide value. Also, telling stories. If you're having trouble coming up with topics, you want to be interactive, maybe do some quizzes, have a poll. Again, set yourself apart from the rest of the realtors out there that are talking to the camera about themselves and start offering value. Well, how do you do that? All you have to do is ask. ChatGPT, I want you to create me an infographic on the real estate market for 2023. I want you to give me the top 10 reasons why you should use a realtor. Maybe you want to talk about a particular neighborhood. There are so many ways you can use ChatGPT, and if you don't want to do Facebook, you just want to do Instagram, tell it to write the Instagram post for you, and it will do it for you. It will actually generate the hashtags and the emoticons. It'll help generate the content creation. Again, all the things that I struggle with, I know other people do, is what do I say? How do I say it? But not only will it give me the information, it'll help write the post for me, which is huge because I don't even know where the emoticons are on my iPhone, let alone how to put them in there. So I thought, what about talking about the current market update? I mean, this is all anyone ever talks about. What are rates doing? What's the interest rates? What is the market doing? What do you guys say? It's up, we're locking inventory, there's still demand, sellers are talking to it. Maybe that's true, but what about making ChatGPT generate content for you that all you have to do is ask so that you can share it with your database? Here's a feature a lot of people don't know. I love Canva. I think it's a great software, especially if you're in the market. You can make anything you want. Did you know you can use ChatGPT to actually coincide with Canva and make the marketing pieces for you? That's brilliant. And people see that going, what? I literally could say, ChatGPT, I want you to make me some door hangers. I want you to make me a LinkedIn profile. I want you to make me flyers. I want you to make me a landing page. It does not matter. It will use what you asked it to do, and it will coordinate with what's called a plugin with Canva. So this is me just saying, give me some examples of some door hangers. It'll give you the example, you click on it, it'll take you to Canva where you can input your information, your photos, your data. But think about this, guys, you have the ability now at the fly, no copywriter, no printing company, no editor, no advisor. You just think of what you want to do and it will do it for you. There's no shortage of why you should not be using this for social media. I thought this was cool. I basically said, all right, ChatGPT, and by the way, I do refer to her as a woman. So don't get upset, she's smarter than all of us, and that's always how good. I said, I want you to utilize the Wikipedia plugin. I want you to find the top reasons why that you can talk to a 12-year-old using vocabulary on why you want to get your house for market. And I want you to use the Wikipedia plugin to get that information. Take CapCut, which is TikTok's video software, generate the video, and then I want you to use the other software to actually make the thumbnail. And in a matter of a minute, for me just typing that in ChatGPT and make this video.
Ready to sell? Here are the top 10 tips. Clean up, make it smell nice, fix anything broken, paint walls with neutral colors, get rid of clutter.
I'm not gonna make you listen to them all, but you guys get it. We hear them on TikTok when we're scrolling through, we hear that automated voice and those randomly generated videos. They're getting thousands and thousands and thousands of views. If you guys are doing that with your content, maybe you're promoting your listing, maybe you're promoting yourself, maybe you're promoting an open house, there are countless ways to do it. This is me demonstrating what I said earlier. I did a blood drive recently with a lender, and I had ChatGPT just write and put together the post for me, which saved me time, put the hashtags and those little picture guys, and right in the blood drive vehicle on the spot, I was able to generate a post, and I thought, this is game changing, especially for us people who struggle in our older age.
I have a question.
Sure.
Can we just pause for a second?
Sure, absolutely. I go fast because I have a lot of content, but.
Okay, awesome.
Sure,
so,
please.
What about like plagiarism? Because obviously with this happen, like you plug something in, if all of us said the same thing.
That's the beauty, is I've yet to hear of anyone saying, like I could literally ask it for what I want it to do, and you can ask the same sentence,
Yeah.
and it will come up with different answers, and I'll get to the reason why on my end. One of the features that you can use with the actual paid version, and it may be free now, is the ability to do what are called custom instructions.
Right.
On the back end, I tell ChatGPT, hey, I'm Chris Baker, I'm with Liberty Title, I'm a settlement officer, former realtor, I'm looking to gain realtor clients, lender clients, and grow my business using ChatGPT and teaching classes. And then I step over and go, well, how do I want to respond? I want you to be clear, concise, a little bit witty, funny, short, and then basically it knows who I am, all my social media handles, what I'm looking for, and I may one day change it, go, you know what, I don't like this. I want to be Jerry Seinfeld, and I want to talk to you like Jerry Seinfeld, and it will talk to you that way. So it's always going to be unique. As for the plagiarism, a lot of people are freaking out, like, oh my God, kids are writing essays with it, people are using it to write books. Again, this is the problem with this, is people talk to it as if it's a human, and they communicate like it's a real person, and it's not. And it can be very convincing. It can do what is called hallucinate, which is to make answers that aren't real and can convince you they're real. So as realtors, especially in our business, we have to be safe with fair housing and ethics, and we got to make sure we're looking at her as the author of the content. You need to be the editor, because you're going to want to look at that and make sure that that information is correct, especially in real estate.
So that was my second question, is like there's so much erroneous information online that like we have to discern between correct and incorrect.
Correct.
And like, so when we do this, like you said, we have to be very careful, like as the editors.
It even says it at the bottom on ChatGPT. Sometimes wrong information, verify
Okay.
true. And you keep in mind, this is what, for a while, it was limited to data up until April of 2021. They just recently updated it, so you don't have to scrape the internet up until 2023. But I do like the feature of the paid version. It does go out now and will scrape the internet for relevant data, especially real estate market data, and then it will cite that. Did it get it from Redfin? Did it get it from Zillow? And then you can verify those sites. So again, this is here to save you time on the mundane tasks, the tasks that struggle with. I'm not saying it's going to replace you. I don't think you should just copy it, take it, and just put it out there
Right.
without doing a little bit of verification and making your own. I'm just trying to give you the big picture.
Because like if we Googled something and we said like we want to come up with, like you said, like tips for staging the
Sure.
home, and we literally just copied exactly what another graphic said, we would feel like we're copying it. But so typing this in and getting information back and feeling like, but it's our AI like that is responding to us personally, but it's still taking information, like we're still copying information. So,
Again, we could argue that point, and I see your point, very true. This is why I tell people you're going to have to, because companies out there currently, including Google, are making software to develop to determine whether or not something is AI generated or not.
Okay.
Photos, pictures, essays. Here's the thing, it's like when I tell people, when our teachers, at least when I grew up, you don't ever need to have, you need to know how to do this math problem because you're not going to be walking around with a calculator in your pocket. How funny is that now? We all have calculators in our pocket. This is going to be the way it moves forward, and we could argue, and very valid
No,
point.
I'm not arguing.
But
Yeah.
that is a good point, and it goes back to like, and when I demonstrate the artwork feature, what are artists doing? They're the ones that create this content, or the musician, or the original thought, and then somebody comes around and goes, I'm inspired by that, and I'm inspired by that, and I come together and make my own version. Did I plagiarize? Did I copy? Or, I mean, I get it. If you take something exactly and then say it's my own, I have yet to see that happen, but it's going to be heavily influenced because I can now upload my own data, my own pictures, stuff that I own, and then AI can recognize that and make something new.
Right, like I noticed on the first video that you showed that it said stock image. Is that how it's going to come?
That
through?
was just a demonstration.
Okay.
So, because I don't pay for that service,
Okay.
but it was using stock footage, especially if you're talking about your listing. You want photos of your listing.
Sure.
I was just demonstrating the concept that, oh my God,
Yeah.
I can make a movie. Yes, that was stock footage.
Okay.
But that voice that was generated was completely generated on its own. And I don't want to get too far ahead of us, but
Sorry.
I'm just,
Okay.
no, I love these questions. I think
Yeah.
this is just getting our brains going of, oh my God, I never looked at it that way. Very valid point.
I'm not
It would be-
disagreeing.
I think it would be really cool if everybody here started doing that for their listings, because like, imagine what your customers are doing.
Yeah.
Like, I was very impressed by that video, and I'm like sitting here, oh my God, I haven't seen anybody post it.
Oh, the accident didn't scratch the surface. Wait till I freak you out a little bit. This is again me just last night going, hey, I'm going to Baltimore. Write me an Instagram post for the market update as of November of 2023. It grabbed the data, made the hashtag, separated out with graphs, listed the data, cites the data, and if I continued on at the very bottom of the post, it'll say, look, this is where I got this from. Bright, Zillow, so on and so forth. But again, now I'm putting out content that like people want to see, makes me look like the expert, in your case you, and this is just a simple example, especially in our business. People are screaming for communication and information. If you can present it the right way, great. What about lead generation? How are you guys currently obtaining leads? We're only as good as our next deal, both in lending and in real estate, even in title. How are you guys generating content? Are you paying Zillow for leads? Are you doing SEO optimization? Are you doing advertising, Facebook? Guys, this is where it gets beautiful, is now you can fire your copywriter. I don't know what people are paying for the lead generation, but I sat with Ron Howard of Remax a couple weeks ago, a pretty big agent out of the city, and he was showing me how he is saving himself upwards of $12,000 to $15,000 a month on basically, instead of him paying a company to generate the keywords for optimization, he's able to generate them himself and target them and know what words to use, and it's saving him huge amounts of money because AI is doing it for him. So you can automate your engagement and have people are now using it to the API, the application program interface, the Geek Talk, which is how your software talks to open AI's ChatGPT. People are putting it on the back end of their CRMs, their web pages, their landing pages, and people are communicating and setting appointments with the AI, and it's doing the appointments. I'll even get to the point at the end. There are companies, and a lot of lenders are doing this now, where the AI is actually setting the appointments for the clients. They're calling, qualifying them, doing all the questions you guys do, sending out the information, bringing it back, and basically you just show up and close the appointment. This is happening right now, and I have multiple lenders say that they're huge into this and are invested in it. How about for advertising? If you're using email, this is an antiquated way of doing business now, but some people are very so popular in using it. Now you can personalize it. You can have AI tailor the topics, the information, your tone of voice, the information you're providing, and personalize it so that you come across as someone that understands. Maybe you talk to a group of elderly people, clients over here, versus the FISBOs that you're working with over here, or the first-time home buyers over here. ChatGPT, you can literally copy emails and text and paste them into ChatGPT and have it respond for you. How would you respond to this situation? How would I explain this to this difficult agent I'm working with? How do I approach my broker and ask him for a raise? Anything you can imagine, you can use the software, and we can do some demonstrations. Again, with lending, you can use it to generate market analysis and reports. You're basically trying to build trust with your people by providing value and information. Maybe you want to give insights onto the market for your home buyers that are currently looking at the market through newsletters, through blog posts, through direct communication. And again, these are just suggestions. Maybe you use it to write your blog. Not only can it come up with the content for you to discuss, it'll write the blog for you. It can code, it can work with Canva, it can work with multiple plugins, and with their update, it does scrape the internet. So you can always have relevant information you can share on any topic in the world at any point in time using ChatGPT. How about generating newsletter content? I know I used to pay for Buffini every month to get that box that would show up with all their newsletters written and my pop-by ideas and my items of value. Well, I don't have to do that anymore because I can just ask ChatGPT to generate the content, make the newsletter, and make it how I want. It's simply astounding. So this is just an example of some door hanger ideas. I say, make me a door hanger. And I could just click on it, it would take me right into Canva. And I thought, wow, that saved me. Of course, you gotta pay for the printing cost. So that was it. So advertising, social media. I think YouTube is the next biggest thing that people need to use it for. I was shocked by the fact that if you had to guess in 1 minute, 60 seconds, how much content is uploaded to YouTube in 1 minute, it's 500 hours of footage is uploaded to YouTube every minute. So, I mean, that's 300,000 hours of content uploaded per hour. It's absurd over across the world. Agents that are using YouTube, I think right now we have this amazing website that's second only to Google, but is owned by Google, that gives you the ability to broadcast yourself, promote yourself, share to the world. And I'm not talking professionally polished videos. This could be you sitting in your car. The agents that are doing this are utilizing this to great extent. I know that there are agents that are using it to generate neighborhood-specific geographic areas. They're talking about home buyer processes. I like to make suggestions of like, okay, make yourself the expert. Take and generate a website for every listing you have and showcase the home and actually do a YouTube video with the property address and send that out so people can see an actual walkthrough of the home. People are, using it to create scripts for their property listings so they can say, ChatGPT, here's my listing. They upload the Bright MLS criteria. They can upload the listing description, and ChatGPT will write a script. It'll tell you where to stand, how to act, how to film, what to say. And if you wanted to use that software, it would make the music for you and overlay it if you want. Again, just trying to give you guys ideas. Maybe you're doing a video walkthrough. Maybe this was a stat that I thought was interesting. I was shocked, and I'm guilty of this myself. Over 70% of home buyers, after using a realtor and the transaction is closed, and I'm not accusing anyone in here, I know a lot of people do this, don't remember their agent's name. And that's scary because you spend all that time acquiring that client, counseling that client, dealing with their kids, their ex, their mother-in-law, the dad. You get to the settlement and then you never follow up with that person again. And I know a lot of agents in this business are getting resentful because they see agents that are using the software and they've been in the business for a long time and they think, oh my God, I know how to do the contract backwards and forward. And you get these young agents that come in and usurp me and do so much better because they're becoming memorable. And I thought it was interesting. I think Buffini was talking about this. They did a statistic on a marketing campaign where they generated a fake agent with fake branding and a fake company, and they targeted a specific geographic neighborhood. And after 8 weeks of marketing to this, at the end, they polled the neighborhood, and guess who people remember? The fake agent, because they were top of mind. And it's because they're putting out content, whether it's through social media, YouTube, or print advertising. It's all about setting you guys apart. So maybe you're trying to give advice or tips so that the general public, is going to remember you. The ChatGPT AI software can help you with that. This was an example of some ideas maybe for a particular neighborhood, that you can share with your community. Maybe you pay to have a specific Facebook ad go out, or you're using SEO optimization and you want to poll your neighborhood, and you want to talk about a restaurant, or you want to get feedback. I thought one of the cool ways to do it is a lot of agents are using ChatGPT to solicit client testimonials. Right now, that's the biggest thing is the words of a client. You just help satisfy them finding a house, and you don't know how to ask for a referral. ChatGPT can do it for you. I'm telling people that don't have to make this complicated. Most of the people I watch on YouTube right now are sitting in their car recording videos. And the biggest hurdle people have with social media that I hear a lot, I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound. Guess what, guys? Nobody cares. I like to use the example, you go to a restaurant, you go anywhere now, everyone's staring at their phones. And you don't ever sit there and go, look, I like you, I want to go to dinner, but I don't like the way your hair looks. You sound funny, we're not going to get lunch. No one says that. Yet we're so afraid that we're going to get on there and people are going to judge us, and it's human nature. You have to adopt this, but here's the thing. You may never get over that. So we're going to talk about a suggestion. If you don't like to be on camera and you don't want to speak, we got an answer for that. How about doing a day in the life of a real estate agent? Some of the funniest stuff I watch is a lawyer on TikTok that talks about his behind the scenes and the crazy situations he gets in. I have a dentist I follow. Some of the funniest content I've ever seen. Would I ever thought I'd be watching a dentist? The guy's got millions of views on there because I think if you are able to do this and show the behind the scenes of what you actually do to generate the satisfaction of knowing that you're not just going to the settlement table and earning a huge real estate check, which is what everyone in the business thinks we do, actually show, okay, here's how I qualify a buyer. Here's how I put up a sign. Here's how I get into the MLS system. ChatGPT can generate those ideas, those contents, those scripts, and help you make that. This is always funny. This is the perspective you've probably seen. What your friends think you do, what your mom thinks you do, what customers think you do, what I think, those are cats. What society thinks I do, what we really do. And again, just being humorous. How about this? Talk about how are you sharing a neighborhood with a client? The crime, the schools, the shopping. Are you just sending them, to great schools? Are you sending them a tailored video? Are you sending them an AI-generated video? I mean, guys, the sky's the limit. How about this? You now have the ability to generate an avatar, an AI avatar, using the built-in software with ChatGPT. And you may hear people refer to it. It's called DALL-E, D-A-L-L-E, DALL-E 3. That's irrelevant. There's a competitor called Midjourney. And DALL-E, I think, is great for what it does. Sometimes it comes up with goofy images that look too cartoonish, but maybe you like that. But the sky's the limit. You can make it a female, a male, a dog, whatever you want it to be. If you like it, how about this? You generate it to a little bit more fancier AI. You're like, okay, this is kind of cool. I see where I'm going with this. But what if you could make it talk?
Thank you for taking a moment to visit.
Now, I was blown away 3 weeks ago when I saw that. I thought, that's pretty damn cool. So now this, imagine you create an avatar of yourself. An avatar that you never have to film ever again. It's made, all you do is tell it what to say, and 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it is out there promoting your business on your property websites, your qualifications. So instead of them calling you or looking you up on Google and finding your picture, or maybe going to LinkedIn, seeing who your Facebook friends is, you have an AI-generated avatar of yourself promoting and marketing yourself. So
could we make it with like really nice hair like that for us?
Oh, absolutely. And well, I'm going to show you some. And again, I'm only scratching the surface because I'm constantly blown away.
All three of us have hair.
Me, Blake, Donnie, and.
So I looked at this and I thought, this is cool. It certainly looks better than the guy we saw there. But as I progressed on, I thought that's still not
make me
good enough for me.
Make me a little taller.
So this
Oh, wow.
is Midjourney. This is not a real person.
No way.
This is using Midjourney, which is
That's not a real person?
That is not a real person. This is an image generated
Looks
of an
like a real
individual that has never existed in the world, and this is using Midjourney. Midjourney is a software that we can demonstrate, but this is $4 a month. But I like it because it generates realistic photos if I want. But how about this?
Like,
It's gonna sound cool.
Best realtor of all time.
Again, I thought, oh my God, I could take an image, make it talk. It's still not quite
Can you
there.
change his voice to sound?
Yes. By the way, I'm only. Yeah, I know, right? This is again using a website called InVideo. I gotta get you the actual website, but there's countless voices you can choose from. I just showed you the first one. You can change the tone, the intonation, the speed, the dialect, but it gets even better.
Excellent.
So I said, oh, can I do this with myself? So I uploaded a video of myself, or just a still photo of me standing in my office, and again, not my voice.
Unlimited videos. Personifying each property listing.
Now I was using this just to demonstrate the capability and to get the, and that was the website by the way, but it's so much more better than that now guys, because just as of last week, this came out. Now this required me, and I did this morning, required me to upload 2 minutes of me talking to the camera. Now it didn't want me dancing around, it wanted me to keep my hand motions below my neck, but it wanted me to have me still, and it wanted me to have good lighting. And all I did was upload the video. I said, Chris, hey, your video is done. What would you like me to say? And this is not me speaking. I never made this video. This is not me talking. This is all AI generated using my voice, my likeness, my photo.
To the future. This is not me speaking. This is an avatar created using 2 minutes of video footage I uploaded. This allows me to create unlimited videos of content. I can change the language
Using my
of
mouth.
my avatar. This will only get better.
Okay, so you think that's cool? Imagine that everywhere I go. Now, I wanted to say it in Spanish. I don't know how to speak Spanish. You tell me. Can you tell the difference?
Bienvenidos a mi presentación sobre inteligencia artificial. Me gustaría hacer una
You're the first one to see this.
demostración del poder de la IA. Este es mi avatar, influencia hablante español.
You guys, you're I know.
So guys, everyone in this room right now should be going, holy shit.
I just said that it's fucking terrifying.
And don't let it be terrifying. Let it go, oh my God, I now have the ability in any language on planet Earth to communicate and promote my product to anyone. So all I did is I took this, I said ChatGPT, take this, translating this, and I did this so you can see, and then I uploaded, the website is called HeyGen, HeyGen. It is simply astounding. Now I got 2 free credits, so I made one video in English, and I made that video in Spanish, but if I wanted to, I could change it to Vietnamese, Russian, it doesn't matter. And it shows using AI, my lips moving to represent the tonation. This has never been done. I haven't shown this to anyone because I started with those gimmicky ones, but I wanted to end with this. Guys, this has just been a bit, this is simply astounding what we're getting into. Again, generating ideas. So here's the website, if you want to do it, and when you go to it, it'll walk you through
We
it.
have a
Very
question.
sure.
Weird. Are there going to be, it's not a joke, are there going to be like internet police or legislation to like,
There has to be.
I love that you bring this up because it's the biggest concern right now.
This needs to stop somebody from faking.
Well, let's stop right there and talk about it. There is no one stopping it. It's laughable to think that legislation is going to catch up with it. Last month, they put out a Biden initiative about the impact AI is having, and everyone's so fearful that even Elon Musk and the founder of OpenAI have already proactively spoken to Congress that says we have to keep this regulated. The problem is the cat's out of the bag, and I like to use the term arms race. Right now, it is all the tech firms, Facebook and Meta. We've got Google and Gemini. We've got OpenAI and Microsoft. We've got Copilot. We've got Anthropic. We've got Claude. We're just talking about the United States. Then you add the world players like Russia and China. Everyone is racing to control this technology because, again, we're only showing it for the purposes of our world. Right now, imagine the ability for it to communicate with the power grid or the financial system or the political system is coming up right now, and with elections, there are already speeches being generated by politicians that aren't the politician. And everyone right now, the big one going on now is Warren Buffett talking about why you should buy cryptocurrency. And I was like, oh man, if Warren Buffett says it's not him, I was convinced. And I'm not going to go too much into it, but you can really delve into the dark side, and I don't want to do that. But there's a big problem now where AI is able to do very harmful things. I mean, there are kids in middle school right now that are not just rating each other, they're removing clothing from one another. Someone that's never taken a photo can now just take a photo from their social media, and they can do it. Yeah, it's happening everywhere. And how do you combat that? How do you tell? So I always like to use the example like This is happening where grandparents are getting calls, now they're getting videos that sound convincing to their grandkids, and they're saying, I need money. Have a code word with your family so that if that ever comes up and they don't know the code word, that's the least I can do. I don't know how we combat this. So it's just one of those things that it's crazy. But I told you I'm gonna blow your guys' mind. How about this? The one that we all use it for. Enhancing listing descriptions. I don't know about you, but when I had a listing back in the day, my first thing was to do is I would walk over to right, I would go to the public past listing history. I'd see what the last 2 or 3 agents said about the house. I would copy that, and then I would go and sit for an hour and manipulate it and make it into something that I felt was decent. That could take some time, or maybe you're just a good writer and you're great at writing copy. I think it's ridiculous now that we can just take what is a boring, basic, real actual listing description that somebody's paid to market and earn a commission on, and take that and turn it into that. Or just a question of copy, paste. Hell, you can be as lazy as just copying the features and amenities from the public records and put it in there, and it'll write the listing description. There's no shortage of ideas.
It didn't know that you can't say master anymore.
Right.
Which is my next point, as I use it. Obviously, I'll get to it for SEO optimization. You're out now able to create vivid descriptions, help with keywords that you want to have included so that you can optimize it. You maybe want to focus on a particular area, target an audience, or make it into a different language. Back to my point, I say don't use these stupid words that everybody uses, because we know what motivated seller means. It means you're desperate, or what charming is, or cozy. I tell my ChatGPT, don't use these buzzwords, these overly used clickbait words, and it won't do it. Again, have fun with it, but if you don't want to use the word master, that's correct. Don't use it. How about for prospecting? And what are you guys doing right now to gain clients, to get leads? Have a dialogue script so that maybe you want to target FSBOs. I know when I got started in business, this was the hardest thing. You bought all the books, you bought all the tapes, you were trying to learn what to say, and then you go out in the field and you practice in real time, real live with the client, and you flub it and you look like an idiot. Well, now you can generate real-time scripts and dialogues with objections so that you can practice the actual conversation you will have with, in this example, a FSBO, so that you're not doing it in real time. So this was me just saying, hey, ChatGPT, write me a letter so that I can target for sale by owners. It actually writes the letters, gives me the benefits of working with a realtor and the difficulties of working as a FSBO, and maybe you send that out to your database. Maybe this is too long, maybe you want to shorten it. Again, just an example. How about expired listings? You don't know what to say to a homeowner that recently went through the process and it didn't work. Maybe you have ChatGPT generate the letters or the content for you. Maybe you want to break into the luxury client base and you want to know how it's done and you want to attract certain people. You now have access to all the social media data for all these big people. Use it to write the content and the communication. Maybe you want to give an example of why working with a realtor is the greatest thing ever. You can have ChatGPT to list the skills, break those skills down, write them in your post, put them into a paper, put them on a blog. Doesn't matter. ChatGPT can do it. I think a lot of people are using it for short form video. I like to stop here and talk first and foremost. When I say short form video, I'm talking not just YouTube videos, but there is YouTube Shorts. It's all the formats out there right now that we have the ability to share our content out there. I mean, as you guys have mentioned earlier, look around. We're all on our phones. We're all staring down. I think every teenager has a lump on their third from carrying their phone like this. Everywhere you go, everyone is looking at their phone. And the reason is social media and videos. Statistically, as you all know, it's way easier to convey your thoughts, your image, your information through videos. Why aren't you doing it? I'm sure everyone in this room is using it. More of the older people are having struggles with it. But I mean, these stats right here is I think interesting that we have this ability now to make a video on any topic at any time in history and share it. And if you want to be anonymous, you can. You can create an avatar, and people are making thousands of dollars generating the most random content. People are talking about their cats or their dogs or their kids.
I need a job like that. Like talk about cats making money?
The people are using their cats to buy a picture of their cats, and they're generating content. I mean, if you're not using it for short form video, I mean, you can have it generate the scripts. I mean, it's because it's all about the attention economy. Everything is about attention. We're being pulled from every direction with marketing and videos and podcasts and books and games and sporting events. And because it grabs your attention, they're super shareable because we all have mobile devices, and they're often spontaneous. This is why they're so widely accepted. So this is me just saying, hey, ChatGPT, write me a YouTube script on the top 10 reasons to list your home with a realtor. I could have probably sat down and done it, no problem, and I could have made the video, but I wanted to see what happened. So this just used CapCut and made a video, and this was just an example, again, to share for social media purposes.
During selling your home, here are the top 10 reasons why listing with a Real Talk can benefit you. 1. expertise in
I'm not gonna make you watch the whole video, but you get this concept. You haven't generated the video for me. How are you guys advertising your services right now? I think that having the ability to generate personalized content that markets your services based on your needs, your wants, and how you help people. Maybe you're a first-time home buyer expert. Maybe you're a luxury client. Maybe you're ABR. Maybe you're one of those various name tags that we realtors use. 100% ePro, I don't know, GRI, ABR, all the topics out there. You can now target using ChatGPT to write the content for you. Again, I spoke about how people are using right now to respond automatically so that people not only getting text responses, but they're getting voice responses using AI-generated avatars, AI-generated voice, and they can't tell the difference. Sending out market analysis, data reports for the housing market, having an interactive ad, maybe something like a quiz or a poll that you could fill out on Instagram or Snapchat. Again, it'll generate the content. People love that stuff. Or a carousel. Again, keep your name, keep your face, keep your image out there. I talked about firing your copywriter because you can have it generate keywords for you. I wouldn't even know how to do that before, but now I just asked ChatGPT. I'm a local Maryland text agent. Give me the top 10 clickbait, avoid clickbaity words or overly used words, and give me the keyword optimization. It was able to generate, which would have cost me thousands of dollars or a lot of my time. And if I don't like these, I can change them. Give me 10 more, give me 100 more. It's all free, you can get rid of it. Email marketing, same concept. Now you have the ability to add your personalized touch and sending out a generic mass email, which most people don't own. One agent in my class said that she used to have less than 1% open rate. She may have been exaggerating, but she was telling me now it's over 60%, which I was like, that kind of is far-fetched. But if that was the case, that you got 10% and people are opening your email, because now you can make call to actions. Okay, schedule a strategy session with me, or join my webinar, download the free guide, or connect with social media. ChatGPT can generate this content for you so that you're getting more click-throughs, so that people are reaching out. You're able to generate captivating headlines that actually make people want to click on your stuff. Again, you may not use this. I'm just giving you ideas, some suggestions. So topics people would be interested in our business that you can have ChatGPT generate for you. I use it to help generate scripts. And what do I mean by that? What if you're looking to practice your objection handling? Do you guys have a coach? Do you have someone that calls as an accountability partner? Are you role playing each other? I know people pay thousands of dollars for coaching services. Now you can actually have ChatGPT generate a script. This is me, create a photo script with relevant objections and responses of the realtor. And this is in real time. You actually created the prompt and then it just sits through and it gives me not necessarily the real conversation, but it serves hell better than nothing. And now you can practice with any topic, with any conversation. Maybe you want to talk to your spouse. Maybe you're having difficulty talking to your child. Maybe you want to talk to that jerk agent that never responds. You can have ChatGPT respond for you. You know, it happens. We're all in the news.
We hate them so much.
And that lender that doesn't get the funding on time.
Wait.
Oh, that title guy that never responds.
Damn it.
So rumors.
Again, it's good.
It's not hard.
I use it to create the script so that you know how to navigate your open house. Or maybe you want to narrate a video of your open house tour, or you want to have an interactive script that you're working with home buyers. Here's the one again, talking about you want to ask the right way how to solicit testimonial requests. You want to know how to discuss a negotiation with a difficult agent. I know one agent used it to research her competitor, found out who her competition was, how they sold, what their strengths were, what their weaknesses, what their sales ratios, what their data was, and it responded and gave her all the selling points to overcome any objections, and she was able to win the listing because she did her research. So use it on yourself. It'll scrape the internet and it'll bring very relevant information about yourself. My favorite one, texting. Now I have a middle schooler, and my middle schooler has an entire language unto themselves as an 8th grader, and I didn't know what the hell he was saying. So I use ChatGPT, and you guys might be of that school, but I sound even worse now when I say no cap or this dinner's bussin'.
We have
Who in this room could verify this is true?
Lindsay's like the most up to date on these.
So we joke about this, but in all seriousness, we communicate a lot in text in this business. You might get a conversation that you don't know how to respond to. All you have to do now is copy that and paste it in ChatGPT and have it respond.
Millennials came up with salty.
I know. I mean, who
I was
knows?
gonna say sausage.
And fam?
Now you know
Fan.
that you're mainstream and it's legit when South Park talks about it. So I'm going to show you a clip of that, but this is me just saying, look, as a realtor, write me a text that is sturdy and professional and dealing with a difficult agent that is not abiding by the timeline, is jeopardizing avoiding the contract. And it'll work for you. And then just paste it in, give me the response, I paste it. So I've been teaching this, and I thought, I'm so brilliant, I came up with this idea, and then I found out that Pertman beat me to it. So this is crap.
Was acting all hurt because she thinks I don't care about her? Uh-huh. When she said that she wishes I would reply to her text the way that Clyde responds to Bebe, so like, how do you do it? Chat GPT, dude. Chat GPT? Yeah, dude. There's a bunch of apps and programs you can subscribe to that use OpenAI to do all your writing for you. People use them to write poems, write job applications, but what they're really good for is dealing with chicks. Here, check it out. There's tons of chat GPT apps for your book. So then I can take whatever latest dumb thing they texted me, I copy it, then I open the GPT app. Click respond to, paste your text here, hit right, it just thinks for a second. You would look great with any length of hair, trying a new look to be fun. Copy that into messages and send it up. It's super easy and convenient, and it saves me a ton of time because she texts me so goddamn much. Right. I probably won't do it, but thanks for being supportive. Cut, paste, right, cut, messages, paste, send.
Thank you for getting that, because some people go, he said F word.
That's awesome.
In all seriousness, have fun with this. As I was sitting in one of my classes, the young lady in the front row wrote poetry to her spouse and hit off, and they had a date that night. And I called up to her a week later because he still doesn't
Missy
know.
be like, something's wrong with you.
So I'm just telling you, my kid uses this against me, trying to convince me to allow him to have Snapchat and TikTok. They wrote me a really long email, and he used ChatGPT to do it. How about this? Now I will generate the content and show you what to do and how to do it. How about when? So now you can ask ChatGPT to generate a marketing content and show me what to do, and it will actually give you the time frame, when and what to say. So you have no excuse, and I will send all these slides out for you. No excuse on what to do.
That's good.
How about this? We just talked about translation. I did a demonstration ahead of the game, but you now have the ability to market your content to the entire planet and you can double your income, triple your income, because now you can market to a database of people that you never had access to. So it has over 150 languages it can translate into, and it can actually, and we'll demonstrate in a minute, can not only talk to us, type to you, it can speak to you. So again, preparing to listen in a different language, a huge opportunity. I personally use it for book summaries. One of the features I can do now is I can upload PDFs. I can take a photo of a bookstore on Amazon, and again, going back to plagiarism and theft, we can argue it all day long, but I don't have the time to consume the books and media as I want. So you can now ask it, and if it's in the database, it'll tell you a summary, and I can determine if I want to read it, or I can actually have, it can currently handle up to 500 pages. So people are throwing entire textbooks and entire books into it, and that now resides in that database. Again, we're not questioning the ethics of stuff, but
I'm not like saying it like.
No, I totally get it.
I'm saying like
That's a
there
good
will be litigation, like it will catch up eventually, and when that happens, what is going to happen? They're not going to
Good
go
question.
after us. They're, like we're a little.
Right now, there are two
But
attorneys.
like they're going to go after the people who are writing civil litigation for Supreme Court justices. That they're going to say like.
I like that you bring that up.
not
There's
your-
actually two attorneys right now that are being disbarred because they cited case law that didn't exist.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, if
We can speculate. I don't know how, at the rate and advanced pace of this, that how they're going to be able to catch up because it's happening so rapidly. Like, how would you
But
argue?
like the internet happens so quick, right? Like the internet.
This is even
I know this is so much faster, but like the internet happens so quick. Of course, there couldn't be litigation the month that the internet came to be and like really became popular. But
What do we do?
5 years later,
What do we do? Very valid point. What do we do? So these are some of the features you get with the advanced analysis of ChatGPT, the Pro version. And one of them is the ability to throw any file format you can imagine at it. I'm talking about PDFs, Excel, PowerPoints, MP4. I want to turn a picture into a video. I want an MP3 to become a Word document. I want a PDF to become a PowerPoint. I want you to create the slideshow for me. We're thinking, well, why would I need to do that? Well, here's some brilliant ideas. I took an actual contract sale and I threw it up there just for sake of argument. And I said, I want you to interpret this and tell me, as a 12-year-old, what the difference between litigation and arbitration is. How about what is time is of the essence? I wanted it to take my home inspection report. Again, I used my personal property. I uploaded the property inspection report. I said, ChatGPT, I don't have time to read this. Tell me the top 10 homeowner issues that I need to address with the seller, which happened to be me. And I was able to interpret that. Not only did this, but I took the Excel spreadsheet of an offer breakdown that I had 10 offers back when the market was crazy on my uncle's house. Took me hours to determine the actual one I wanted. I can now throw it at ChatGPT and in a matter of seconds it'll tell me this is the offer you want to take based on the seller price. I am now using it, and this is something I demonstrate with agents. I go to Bright's public records, I search properties based on geographic location, I find the data that I want, I export it into a CSV or an Excel format, I throw it up there, I go, hey, ChatGPT, I need you to tell me the top 10 homeowners that are likely to list their property, and based on the deed record date, the equity they have on their house, and the data that's provided, it tells me just like that. And then I can have it generate the mailing labels and then make a video about that, anything I want. Again, giving you guys ideas. How about this? You want to review a contract of sale. It's getting to the point now where I'm seeing companies that are acquiring AI software so that our antiquated system of getting title and getting that software done and read and reviewed in title miners, it's going to be a point in time where this is going to be done in a matter of days instead of weeks and months. You can now upload a property to it and have it analyze it. I'm going to do a live demonstration for it. So it's not only able to text, you can throw actual photographs at it and have those photographs manipulated. You can upload transcriptions of your bio recordings or your videos or YouTube, and it will transcribe it for you. So if you have an audio book you listen to, or maybe you're recording a podcast and you want the transcription, it can do it for you. I've demonstrated you can throw any kind of file format on it. You can use it to generate websites. It can interpret code. It can write code. It can generate anything you want and make it easy for you. A lot of people are using it for competitor analysis. You're going up against a listing competitor. You want to learn about yourself and see what the internet says about yourself. You're a competitor. I demonstrated with Bill when I was going to work for Liberty why the strengths and pros and cons of Liberty Title, and it was able to extract that from the internet and tell me exactly what we can do to increase ourselves and things that we're doing great. This is me just using an example in that one demonstration using Bright. I was looking for a particular agent in a particular market, and it was able to go out and determine the company, listing sold, volume, and listings. So I now know who I can target if I want to based on data. Text to image. This is the feature where you actually use words to come up with an image. The sky's the limit. I was actually yesterday in DC at the Christmas market, and there was a guy selling digital art, and I was blown away with it. And I said, "Did you make these?" He said, "I did." I said, "How are you doing?" He said, "I use a computer," and it was wonderful. My son bought an art at the screen. I go, "What's your thoughts on ChatGPT?" He goes, "I don't think it's really going to do much." And I literally took a picture of the picture my son bought, and I generated an artwork image, and I wasn't trying to rub it in his face, but I was able to generate for free on the spot using an image that I uploaded better than his artwork. And it was like, oh my God, this is scary. It's really heartbreaking. These are just some ideas people created. If you can imagine it and think it, it will create it. So this is Google's demonstration, OpenAI's demonstration of what people are using this feature for. And let me give you a second while this loads so you can see what Google is. People are making thousands of dollars creating stickers, children's books, t-shirts, you name it, they can generate it for you. It can do everything for you. I just used it to generate some random images of some realtors that are overworked and overwhelmed. I got a little freaked out when this is just a demonstration of me imagining baby to adult, old man thinking about his son. I uploaded a photo of my son who was 13 at the time and said, show me what he looks like as a 30-year-old. Freaked me out. But that's just, again, I gotta pull that out. It was an uncanny valley, but it happens. Some of the cool features built into the software were called plugins, everything from Wolfram Alpha to Instacart, and I thought this was a fun example. Not only can it make a recipe, we all know that you can use it for recipes, and it's fantastic at recipes, but I can now say, buy the stuff for me, and it'll go right out to Instacart, put it in the cart and buy it for me. And now it's linked to Amazon Alexa, so I can come and go, Alexa, I'm having a dinner party with 5 teenagers, 2 are lactose intolerant, I have a budget of $100, I want to make something that's fun yet easy, and I want you to go and do it, and it will go do it. Because we all have Siri, Google Assistant, and Alexa, and we've been using AI, we just don't realize it. Now it does it for you, and this is just scratching the surface. This blows me away. Google has what's called an AI assistant. This is something that's already available. This is going to be the world we live in moving forward and rapidly approaching. We have Siri in our pockets. If you have a Google phone, you have Google Assistant. We're gonna have a day where we wake up, our calendars are linked to our database, and are linked to our world, and anything we want to accomplish is done in the background, and we're now basically have our own personal assistant. So this was at their Google I/O presentation last year. Tell me if you guys can tell what's real and what's not.
Let's say you want to ask Google to make you a haircut appointment on Tuesday between 10 and noon. What happens is the Google Assistant makes the call seamlessly in the background for you. So what you're going to hear is the Google Assistant actually calling a real salon to schedule the appointment for you. Let's listen.
at 12 p.m. We do not have a 12 p.m. available.
So you guys get the point. That's just, again, what's happening now where everything's being handled. This blew me away. We all heard about the actor strike in Hollywood. One of the reasons they were striking, not was just also because of money, but because of their fear of being replaced with AI. And think about it, their likeness, their paces, their voices. If I can only upload 2 minutes of my face and get that video, imagine what they can do with cameras footage. Now they're gonna be able to make movies anytime, anywhere, and this hits home on why the future is crazy.
A movie or a series to end, it doesn't have to. You could use AI to continue to generate more episodes, another sequel, and have this kind of ongoing storyline. For example, maybe you actually subscribe to Lord of the Rings as a franchise, or Succession as a series, and you continue to generate more. And then there is a world where eventually, maybe we get home from work, and we say, I'm in the mood for a rom-com, I've gotten my heart broken, or whatever it is, and AI generates something for you.
Could you choose the actors? Like, do you know what I mean? You could be like, I want one with Meryl Streep and Hugh Grant, and then we do.
Yeah, so a world where you even one day maybe subscribe to actors, and their AI appears, absolutely.
So kids are now being taught by Abraham Lincoln, because of his likeness and his voice, the Gettysburg Address. People are getting a little bit weird. I'm going to demonstrate this in a moment using this feature. This is built into the iPhone. This is a feature that may or may not exist on the Android. I apologize, but I have an iPhone. This is called My Speech. This is an accessibility feature that I thought was mind-blowing because it's free. It's built in the phone, but it doesn't pertain to me. But there are likelihood that people in the future are going to lose their ability to speak, and they're going to be able to lose their ability to speak and not be able to ever use their voice again. So Apple, to combat that, did this. Let me give you a line. And by the way, this is not me speaking.
Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to come talk to you today about the new powerful technology known as ChatGPT. Using the app, this is just an example of how everything is going to change moving forward in our business. This is a demonstration of where technology is going. This is completely done on the iPhone with iOS 17. After reading 150 phrases, the phone trained itself to mimic my voice. Now I know it's not exact, but it's pretty impressive that it's able to duplicate my voice in such a similar fashion.
So you guys can hear that it's a little bit robotic, but you heard that video I made earlier with Hey Jen. Sounded like me, especially speaking Spanish. I don't know how to speak Spanish. Now I have a Polish wife and I can speak Polish to her, but she would know that's not me, but it will freak her out when I make a video and send it to her. And the reason I show this to you is, guys, envision a time, and this is happening. There are actors, I know Morgan Freeman was one of them, that have uploaded his likeness and have recorded countless hours of video, and his footage is now in the domain for him to speak on any topic, anywhere, anytime. Imagine a time where you get to speak to your grandfather you can't speak to anymore, or a deceased loved one, where grandpa shows up, you hear him, you talk to him. Your children that never got to meet him get to hear his personalities, his likes. This gives me chills thinking about it, and it can be a little weird, but this is where we're rapidly approaching. Tupac's making songs. The Beatles just released a song that had never been created before. They're using information out there to generate this ability, and it's just moving.
So nothing's real anymore, pretty much.
So this is one of the craziest. This is where it gets really weird. This was released a couple weeks ago. This is now the ability to not only see, but hear and speak. Take a picture of a sign. Can I park here? It'll interpret, knows exactly. It'll tell you, yeah, you can park here. How about this? I want you to solve this puzzle. You got a crossword puzzle, a Sudoku puzzle. I don't care what your picture. It'll tell you how to fill it out. You got a math problem. This is simply incredible. Khan Academy, YouTube, children's curriculum. No, it's not that. They're going to have to adapt like they did with the advent of the calculator. This is, again, for demonstration purposes. How about this? You're at a restaurant. Google Lens can do this. You want to know what you're eating? It'll do it for you. All you have to do is take a picture of it. And you're like, yeah, Google can do that. What about this? How about this? This is a dock connector on my desk. You don't know what something is. All you do is take a picture of it. Doesn't matter what it is. ChatGPT will identify it, and it will even give you decorating advice. You walk in a room, take a picture. It'll say the walls are bare. We need better windows. Maybe it's a mountain range. You don't know where it is. Take a picture of it. It'll say, oh, these are the Teton Mountains in Wyoming. I think you need to go here. Doesn't matter. This was a demonstration. I need to lower my bike seat. Took a picture of the bike. It shows you, and it begins to tell you how to do so. How about this? You're at dinner with your friend. Yeah, the dish looks great. What are you eating? I have no idea. The menu. Take a picture of it. ChatGPT will identify it and tell you how to make it and what recipe. And then you can have Instacart go out and buy it for you. So this is me at a taco restaurant the other day. I literally didn't know what I was looking at. I took a picture of it, circled it using the app, confirmed, set it up. Told me it's the Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. Of course. And of course, if I wanted to translate it into Spanish and make a social media post, I could do that. This work is really cool. Inbuilt into the phone, this is a feature that used to be paid for. Last week they released it to anyone that has ChatGPT on the mobile device. Everything we've been demonstrating is me texting into a box. I now have the ability to talk, and it will respond in real time and have a conversation. And I find myself, I know this is weird, having more conversations with this than I do with real people. And don't laugh, because everyone in this room has an Alexa or a Siri. We all already do it. We're just not cognizant to it. But this will respond and have everything we just demonstrated in the palm of your hand. It's like having Jarvis from Iron Man, and I'll do a demonstration of it. A lot of people are using this now for therapy, because you're able to talk with something that knows your likes, your dislikes, your wants and your needs, can respond unbiased, confidential, and basically you're not embarrassed because you can say it. So people are, they're making the fear that people are going to fall in love with this, like the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
If you have teenagers that can get what they want, sent to them how they want, whenever they want, and then have an avatar look like they want, it's crazy to think about, but we'll do a demonstration. This is me using the most popular website called 11 Labs. 11 Labs allows you to generate voice content on any tonality, any voice, but if you want, you can upload your voice, type what you want. This is me just using the free software. So you
In my presentation today, I'm super excited to teach you guys about artificial intelligence, and in particular ChatGPT. Here's another example of artificial intelligence being used to generate voice content. This is not me speaking.
And that was, again, if I wanted to upload my voice, there's thousands, and we hear it on social media, we hear the voices all the time. How about this? You can now, not only come up with an image, you can come up with a movie. And I only have the free version, so I only get 4 seconds. But imagine a point in time where you're able to take an idea and you say, I want to make a movie about it. And in my example, I just said, I want to show, because I just got back from my hike from Appalachian Trail, make me a video of 4 adult men walking through the woods. And this is only a 4-second clip, but this never existed before. But now you can take still images, maybe a photo of a deceased one, or a pet, or a child, and you want to animate it. We've seen the gimmicks on social media. You can now do that. It's called Magic Mouse, but this is a company called HeyGen that allows you to do that. Don't sleep on Google. Google currently has their version called Bard. It's soon going to be their powerhouse version called Gemini, which is supposed to be 5 times faster. But the reason I like Bard is it integrates all the services of Google, Maps, YouTube, Drive, Gmail, and consolidates into one spot. So if you want to reference your kid's school email and you want to find out map locations, you want to access your Drive, it's all in one spot.
Wait, question.
Sure.
On that. So is there, does it matter if you use Bard or ChatGPT?
Doesn't matter. That's, again, there's Claude, which is, and then there's Microsoft's Copilot. It doesn't matter. ChatGPT is the forerunner because it's the one that came out the gate first, and they're currently about 6 months ahead of everyone. But I just want you to know that they're not sitting idly by watching their lunch get eaten, because that's what's happening right now, especially with Microsoft taking over. I just want people to be aware. It's simply astounding what you can do, especially in light of the new feature, which is its ability to analyze and interpret YouTube videos. Before, I could go to YouTube, copy the transcript, go over to the transcript, paste it in GPT, and say, tell me about this video, and it would summarize. Great use of my time instead of me watching a full hour video. Now, because it's built into Bard, Google is able to literally, you just copy the link from the video you want to watch, throw it in there, and it will tell you. So if you were watching a recipe video and you don't want to sit and watch the video, put it in there and it'll list the ingredients and go, tell me how many eggs do I need? It'll say, you need 3 eggs, without you having to watch the video. If you want to consume content like I like TED Talks, I don't have the time to watch them. It'll analyze the video and give you the highlights and the key takeaways, or the summary. It doesn't matter.
Isn't it so funny though that we're talking about, like, one of your things was about how much more people want video than text, but then that's too long, so then they're shortening it to text.
Because we're
Like,
all
they're taking the video to-
squirrel, especially ADD.
Like,
yeah, and content creators are like, oh my God, I want you to watch my video because it's based on the algorithm and how long you watch. Again.
Remember you want us to do a podcast in your studio? Just do one for me. Just do one. All right.
Make stories.
See, Gemini is going to be their version. It's multimodal, so you better talk to it, speak to it, listen to it. It'll generate images, videos, but this was me just showing Anthropic. This is Amazon's version. Anthropic is similar to ChatGPT, so that's another one to play with. Microsoft heavily invested in OpenAI. They're using OpenAI and ChatGPT as their backend. So the same concept. You'll have Microsoft Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. You want to generate a PowerPoint presentation, just type it. It'll make it for you. You want to analyze your data in Excel, it'll do whatever you want. You want to make it a website, you want to convert any of your Microsoft software, it'll built into it.
So, quick,
Sure.
like, okay, so do you have to use Copilot to be affiliated with Microsoft things and?
Right now it's free for most of them, but they're going to be, they're getting everyone, they're teasing everyone and allowing you to use it, but eventually you're going to have to pay
But
for
I'm
it.
saying, if you want to use this kind of product, and you want it to be affiliated with Excel and Word and whatever, do you have to use Copilot or can you use Chat?
I don't have Microsoft. I don't use Microsoft products, but I do have it on my computer. But if I had an Excel spreadsheet, I just throw it into ChatGPT and do everything.
Okay, so it does go.
But again, I'm only scratching the surface. There's so much you can do. I just want you to be aware of it. So you may end up liking ChatGPT over Anthropic or over Claude.
So it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's my point being is it's such a demand to see you.
It's like using Outlook.
Exactly.
Like using
Hotmail versus Gmail or AOL.
Or
One of the new features they allowed you to do, this is hugely popular for ChatGPT, and I hate this term, I like to call them apps. Their version is called GPTs. You're able to now generate your own app within ChatGPT. And what do you mean by that? Well, they're going to soon make it so that you might have an app that is benefiting the world and they can monetize it and you can sell it. So these are just some examples. It takes the big general purpose of ChatGPT and narrows it down to something specific. And these are examples. You want to figure out any game in the world, it'll explain it for you. You need tech support. You want to make any picture into a coloring book. You want to learn how to make any drink. You want to make math homework. It'll do it for you. So I just wanted you to demonstrate this and make a picture of a cat and a dog, and it made that. So if you're a parent, you want to make that for kids. Here's me. I wanted to create one called Top Agent Finder. I made it, and it just says this GPT is tailored to assist top performing realtors, providing them with market insights, property listings, legal advice, and customer relation. Again, may or may not be something you're interested in, but companies are making amazing ability built into ChatGPT's ability to make your own apps. This was just an example of AI making an actual sales call in real time so you guys can get a sense of what it sounds like.
Detected from AI. Listen to this AI sales rep cold call a prospect. This is using Air AI, a platform that claims it can do 10 to 40-minute conversations using natural language.
So this is your
this
company's
AI
going to be
sales
calling
rep is
clients
able to
soon
cold call a prospect and
using
turn
AI.
it into a qualified lead on the phone.
Hey James.
I'm not interested, man.
Yeah, no worries. I hate calls out of the blue too. But I'm actually from Apple, and I saw you were checking out Vision Pro and were about to pre-order but left the page.
Yeah,
I was curious, what had you looking into potentially? Okay, I can respect that. Can I just ask one question before you go?
Fine, shoot, what's up?
Why did you decide not to pre-order the Vision Pros? I saw you changed your mind last minute.
Because they are crazy expensive. I'm gonna get the Meta Quest instead.
I get it. But you saw what happened to Threads, right?
So I'm not going to make you watch it, but I thought it's relevant. It made a joke, and at the end it qualified him, got him to consider financing, and basically allowed him to send a lead, which that client was happily to agree with it. So where this brings us to is no one in the industry probably knows who this guy is, but this is Sam Altman. He is the founder and creator of OpenAI. OpenAI started in 2016 as a joint venture between Elon Musk and this gentleman as a nonprofit with the intent to share artificial intelligence with the world, but doing it in a safe manner. And they realized that they were onto something when it got better and better and better. So they made a profitable, for-profit version of AI where he is now running, and that's where we are today. Over the weekend, right before Thanksgiving, in the tech world, this was like a nuclear bomb. This was equivalent to Steve Jobs being fired from Apple. For those of you who were alive during the time, it was unheard of. What happened that nobody seemed to understand was that OpenAI went from this great product that everyone's talking about, from zero value to $80 billion in capitalization, and this guy was fired. Everyone's like, what is happening? Why is this happening? And of course, Microsoft, who's a huge partner and has invested billions of dollars, like, what the F? They were like, we need to find out. So long story short, from what we're gathering is Sam Altman was onto something that freaked the board out. And everyone to this day is still trying to understand because they handled it so badly that their valuation plummeted. I think Microsoft lost $10 billion in a matter of hours. And it all comes back to what they are calling Q-Star. Q-Star is their internal version of what they are referring to as relationship engagement. This is basically what they've been trying to accomplish with all of this is what's called AGI, or Artificial General Intelligence. But what does that mean in English? It's not just taking past data and everything that we've been discussing, it's the ability to think on its own and create on its own, in other words, solve problems. Kind of like the Skynet version. And what happened is they basically discovered that right now it can analyze text very good because it's all in there, but it was able to solve math problems, and it meant simple math. It was able to say, okay, this is not the answer, this is not the answer, and generate a new thought to satisfied and saw the answer, and they said it was so freaked out the board because they literally said it was a threat to mankind that the board fired the #1 CEO, and Microsoft said, we're going to bring you on, you can work with us, and the board got fired. They brought back Sam Altman, and now we're at the point where like, what the F? So no one really knows what's going on, but all I know is that it's happening so fast that it freaked the world out, and they fired the guy because this technology, to your point, is coming along so fast that I'm just getting you aware that we are in for unprecedented times right now. So.
Yeah, I read something that said that it learns as it goes, it analyze its own work and improve itself.
That's exactly
and start thinking for itself.
Yeah, be careful. I don't want to get fired.
Right.
So let me demonstrate.
I wish I came up in the tech world, not this real estate world.
So Elon Musk and Sam Altman were co-founders
of the OpenAI. They had disagreements over it. So he stopped now. Google or Twitter, X, I still call it Twitter. They have their version called Grok or Grok, G-R-O-K. This is Elon Musk's version of it, and it's pretty funny if you look up some of the videos. It's way more, let's say, facetious and sarcastic, and it's much more. I don't know. It's pretty funny, but they are all trying to monetize this, and everyone's doing their own thing. So it can be good and bad. But with everybody racing to the bottom and be the first, there's some detriment, like the fact that it's generating stuff. So this is just a live demonstration so you guys can see. This is the mobile app. I'm on my, just so you know, the mobile app looks like, for those that want it, it's the white one with the black circle. Do not pay for ChatGPT for the app. The app itself is free. But as you can see, I can upload a picture. I can upload a file. But in this example, let's just say I want to take a picture of Julie. Well, I'm not gonna do a photo, but let's just say.
I don't want any.
Take a picture, and I circle this. I'm like, I'm not from this country. What am I looking at? And we're gonna hit OK. It's gonna upload the photo. I'm not even gonna ask it a question. I'm just gonna send it in, and let's see what it says. And this is again using the mobile app.
Candy.
The image displays a red bucket filled with a variety of digitally wrapped candies, Reese's, Kit Kat, Snickers, so on and so forth. Common sense. But maybe I didn't know what that was. Maybe I take a picture of this and say, make this into a website, and it will do so. But here's where it gets fun.
Make this into a website.
If this right here is the feature that I like. Notice the headphones. I'm gonna head.
Sam, Pride Myself's wife is apt.
So I'm doing a presentation today in front of a group of realtors,
Not good.
and I'm a little nervous. I'm worried about my
Like a
presentation
whole-
skills and want to know if you can give me some advice on public speaking.
Majority, people aren't gonna wanna adapt to use this, there's gonna be people that, their sole jobs.
Not right now, but eventually this will just be the thing, right? Like think about it.
Like
Telephones
people
are
resisted
the
the internet.
No, but
And now
I'm literally
we-
thinking, how can I not do this, but do this? So bring somebody on who specializes. And when they can teach it.
The problem is that we're like in this middle ground.
I need mine to respond to Missy all day. Like, stop. We're good.
We're too in the mid. We're not young enough. But we're not old enough.
So I'm having difficulty talking to my teenager who wants some advice as a dad. Can you help me?
Close enough to the old.
Hey, I'm not the youngest, and I don't really.
Absolutely. Communicating effectively.
So this is me just talking and getting advice. I'm just giving a demonstration. You could have any conversation with it. It's talking to me, but if I didn't want to talk to her, listen to my car, it'll actually create the conversation right there. So that was my point today, guys. This is to open your eyes, give you some concepts, give you some ideas, not freak you out, but get you thinking like, oh my God, can you now see how the world is changing? And if you're adapting to this and using this technology, you'll be fine. But I'm in the world, and I can't keep up. But I hope that I was able to give you guys some value. Any questions? This is the fun part.
Are you guys hiring?
That was awesome, Chris.
Well, I hope you guys are like, I'll say thank you guys. If anyone wants the presentation, just send me a card.
Yep.
Reach out to Bill or me, and then I'll send the slides, but I'm going to upload the video.